Adalee Bates throws shade at graduation speech. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Bringing Up Bates star Adalee Bates is celebrating a new milestone as she graduates from homeschool. Kelly Jo also took to social media to congratulate her daughter. The proud mother was also left in awe by Adalee's first testimony. However, the 18-year-old caught the attention of many after seemingly throwing shade during her speech. Keep reading to see what she said. Adalee is one of the most outgoing daughters of Gil and Kelly Jo today. Despite the Bringing Up Bates star's hearing condition, many of her siblings rely on her, especially when it comes to babysitting their kids. She also likes to hang out with her siblings and has made incredible efforts during family gatherings. The 15th Bates child also graduated from American Sign Language School in December 2023, along with her brother Isaiah. But despite all the positivity, many fans were stunned after Adalee seemingly threw shade at certain family members. Some Redditors react to Adalee's graduation speech. The Bringing Up Bates star thanked many of her family and friends for all the support they've given her. But later in the video, Adalee Bates suddenly talked about how lucky she was to have godly Christian parents and said that Gil and Kelly Jo weren't able to experience it back then. "We were lucky to have godly Christian parents. I know my parents didn't have that in their home as much," she said. Many Redditors were caught off guard by Adalee's sudden shade. Like way to throw both sets of grandparents under the bus. In particularly her maternal grandfather, Kelly's father, who I believe passed away well before she was born, so she didn't even know him. Honey, you are graduate gang. Go ahead and talk about you and your dreams. Your parents barely raised you the last few years, and you have been shipped off to Aunt Mom in Florida consistently. You deserve a day all about you. That poor girl is brainwashed. It is no one's job to judge the level of godliness in other people's houses. Focus on your own walk with Jesus and don't rank or rate others around you like these IBLP folk all seem to, 'cause that's ungodly." She must be joking. Her teenage years were spent raising her siblings' kids. Her godly ma was hardly around. Adalee has yet to share what's next for her after graduating from homeschooling. Some fans believe that the Bringing Up Bates star may look into courtship soon, but others doubt that she's going to be the next to enter a relationship. Instead, many Reddit users predict that Adalee Bates may enter courtship first. There are also speculations that Adalee Bates may try to pursue a career as a sign language teacher, similar to Isaiah, who's now doing sign language during sermons at their church. In an event that was meant to mark the achievement of a significant academic milestone, the graduation speech delivered by Adalee Bates has sent shockwaves through the audience and the broader public. Known for her charismatic personality and occasional controversies, Bates's speech left many stunned, as she seemingly threw shade at her peers, her school, and perhaps even the education system itself. This unexpected turn of events has sparked discussions and debates across social media platforms, news outlets, and academic circles. What exactly did Adalee Bates say, and why has it garnered so much attention? A look back at Adalee Bates's academic journey. Before delving into the specifics of the controversial speech, it's important to understand who Adalee Bates is. Known for her social media presence and dynamic personality, Bates has been a prominent figure in both her academic and personal circles. Her academic journey has not been without challenges, and she has often been seen as someone who questions authority and societal norms. This rebellious streak, coupled with her impressive academic achievements, has garnered her a loyal following of supporters and detractors alike. Bates's rise to prominence wasn't just through academic excellence, but also through her engagement with issues that matter to her. Whether it was advocating for diversity in education, speaking out against inequality, or addressing mental health challenges, Bates was never afraid to speak her mind. So when she was selected to deliver the graduation speech, there was a mixture of excitement and trepidation in the air. People were eager to hear what Bates had to say, wondering if it would be a typical speech of gratitude and inspiration or something that shocked everyone. When Bates stepped up to the podium, the audience was already anticipating something that would be different from the usual graduation speeches. The tone she set from the beginning was unorthodox, yet captivating. She acknowledged her academic achievements but quickly turned the focus to a more critical perspective of the educational experience. Rather than offering the typical thank you to faculty, parents, and peers, Bates delivered a speech that seemed to poke fun at the very system that had granted her diploma. With pointed remarks and an ironic twist, Bates reflected on the challenges and shortcomings of the educational system. Some of her comments were lighthearted, while others were biting. At one point, she referred to the entire process of standardized testing as a performance designed to test not our intelligence but our ability to play the game. The crowd, initially unsure of how to react, slowly started to murmur. But the most shocking part came when Bates made a direct remark about her classmates. "Congratulations to everyone who survived this institution. The system tried to break us, and somehow we managed to break through." This line, delivered with a mixture of humor and sarcasm, seemed to hit a nerve. It was clear that Bates was throwing shade not only at the institution that had educated her but at the very structure of education itself. The line left many in the audience wondering, was this just a joke, or was it a genuine critique? The aftermath, public reactions, and backlash. Following the speech, social media erupted with reactions from both supporters and critics. Some applauded Bates for her boldness and willingness to speak truth to power. They praised her for taking a stand against an education system that they too felt was broken. For them, her speech was a breath of fresh air, a call to reimagine education and a reminder that students are not merely cogs in a machine. On the other hand, there were those who felt that Bates had crossed a line. Many argued that her comments were disrespectful to the institution and to the educators who had invested their time and effort in her development. Critics pointed out that while it's important to address flaws in the system, the graduation ceremony was a time for celebration and unity, not for airing grievances. Some even suggested that Bates was being ungrateful for the opportunities that the institution had provided her. Despite the divided opinions, it's clear that Bates's speech has sparked important conversations about the state of education. Her willingness to speak candidly about her experiences has forced people to reflect on the purpose of schooling and whether it truly serves the needs of students or merely prepares them for a life of conformity. A re-examination of the educational system. At the heart of Bates's speech was a critique of the educational system that is still very much relevant today. For years, students have been subjected to a system that prioritizes memorization and standardized tests over critical thinking and creativity. Bates's comments about the performance of education resonated with many who feel that the current system values conformity and compliance over individuality and innovative thinking. Moreover, Bates's speech highlights the broader conversation around mental health and well-being in academic spaces. Many students, particularly in competitive environments, experience immense pressure, anxiety, and stress. Bates's reflection on the struggles that students face, especially when the system feels more like a test of endurance rather than a nurturing environment, struck a chord with those who feel that their educational experiences have been taxing rather than empowering. The fine line between boldness and disrespect. One of the key issues that emerged after Bates's speech was the question of whether her comments were too bold or whether they were simply an honest expression of her feelings. In an age where freedom of speech is championed, it's often difficult to determine what crosses the line between critique and disrespect. Some believe that Bates's approach was too confrontational for such a ceremonial occasion. while others argue that her remarks were necessary to spark meaningful dialogue. While it's important to acknowledge the significance of the graduation ceremony as a celebratory event, it's also important to recognize that speeches at such occasions have historically been platforms for more than just gratitude and reflection. In the past, many prominent figures have used their graduation speeches as opportunities to challenge the status quo, offer advice for the future, or highlight societal issues. Bates's speech, in that sense, may be seen as a continuation of this tradition, albeit with a more pointed kind of role model. In the wake of the speech, many people began to question the traditional role of a graduation speaker. Should they merely deliver feel-good messages and inspirational quotes, or should they take the opportunity to challenge their audience to think critically about the world around them? Bates's speech has sparked a larger conversation about the role of graduates and young people in reshaping societal norms. Perhaps, rather than conforming to traditional expectations, Bates's speech offers a glimpse into a new kind of leadership, one that isn't afraid to speak truth to power, even when it's uncomfortable. By challenging the education system and urging her peers to reflect on the true purpose of their education, Bates may have just set a new standard for what it means to be a leader in today's world. Instead of simply accepting the status quo, she is encouraging her generation to question, critique, and ultimately reshape the systems they inherit. Moving forward, what can we learn from Bates's speech? As the dust settles and the conversation around Bates's graduation speech continues, there are a few key takeaways that can help shape how we think about education, graduation, and leadership. First, Bates's speech serves as a reminder that education is not a one-size-fits-all experience. For some, it may be a smooth path, while for others, it may be a series of obstacles and frustrations. The system, as it stands, does not always cater to the diverse needs of students, and Bates's comments about the limitations of the system should encourage all of us to think critically about how we can make education more inclusive and empowering. Second, Bates's boldness in using her platform to express her frustrations demonstrates the power of youth in shaping the future. Her willingness to speak out, even when it's unpopular or uncomfortable, is a testament to the strength and resilience of her generation. This moment has sparked a conversation that extends far beyond the graduation ceremony, one that touches on issues of identity, agency, and the role of education in fostering true intellectual and emotional growth. Finally, Bates's speech reminds us that sometimes the most valuable lessons aren't the ones we learn from textbooks, but the ones we learn from questioning the very systems that are meant to guide us. If anything, Bates's speech shows us that the path to true knowledge and growth often comes from challenging the status quo and thinking critically about the world around us. A moment of reflection. Adalee Bates's graduation speech will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the most talked about moments in recent memory. Whether seen as a rebellious act of defiance or a thoughtful critique of an outdated system, her words have left an indelible mark on the discourse surrounding education. As we reflect on the implications of her speech, one thing is certain: Bates has sparked a conversation that will continue long after the applause fades. By throwing shade at the very institution that helped shape her, Bates has challenged us all to rethink the way we view education, success, and the future of the next generation. In doing so, she has cemented her place as a thought leader, a voice for those who refuse to accept things as they are and are determined to create a better, more equitable world. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our United News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.